Are you engaged or planning on getting engaged, but you don't want the traditional, boring type of wedding? Then this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Liz. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed that very cringy introduction. As you can tell by the title, I'm gonna start a engagement series. I was engaged around this time last year with my now husband, and we had a very short engagement. Our engagement lasted only 5 months. We were engaged only 20 years old. I literally just turned 20 when he proposed. That was perfect for us. Once he put a ring on it, it meant wedding bells. I loved the engagement season. Even though mine lasted only for 5 months, I enjoyed all of it, and I had some bumps along the road. It was stressful at times, but it was also a very fun stage. And I remember looking at just looking up videos on engagement, and didn't really find one that would specifically speak about what I wanted to do. We both decided to have a very minimalistic wedding, and I can make another video on like wedding details and stuff, but we had like 50 guests in our wedding, and we knew that we just wanted something very small, simple, bohemian style, but also very beautiful, and that's exactly how it turned out, and I'm really excited to share more about that. But in the engagement process, our ideas changed a whole lot, and we went from wanting an outside wedding to wanting a ceremony outside and an inside reception. And we ended up having an inside ceremony and reception because it rained on our wedding day. And our plans just changed so much. I wanted to elope. My husband was like, oh nope, we can't do that. So the first thing that I put here is be willing to adapt. This was something that, we knew that it was going to be a lot, but we didn't know how much it was going to be. Wedding planning, again, is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful stage, but it is a lot. But you have options to alleviate this, the planning. You can, have your mom help you, mother-in-law help you, you can have both parents help you, you can have sisters help you, you can have a wedding planner, you can have, you can get a venue that includes a wedding planner. So there's a couple of options that you have. What we did, we sat down and we talked on the theme. We figured out what theme we wanted to do, how many guests, and having those two things, especially how many people you're going to invite, helps you decide a lot of other things. For example, what venue do you need? How much tables do you need? How much decorations do you need? And all of that good stuff. And this will also help you if you plan on getting a wedding planner. Whew, I'm out of breath. This will also help you or help them visualize and plan your wedding better. So definitely start out with how many people you want to invite. We wanted a very small, intimate wedding. We wanted people that we love, people that we see in our lives long term, not just for the season that we're in. And that's exactly who we invited. We told ourselves is, one, you're paying for your wedding. Or at least in our case, we were paying for our whole wedding. So we didn't want to pay a plate of food. We didn't want to feed someone that was just gonna literally eat our food, be at our wedding, criticize the decorations, criticize how my dress looked, criticize everything that was going on, and then not ever talk to us again. Like, that doesn't make sense to us. So we literally broke it down to close family members, like our parents, our siblings, and a couple of like our close pastors, and like one friend. I think I invited like one friend, and I loved it. I really do. Like, I don't regret anything about our wedding. I loved how intimate it was. It made things so much more fun because you weren't like lost in, in what was going on. Like, everybody was so present, everybody was participating on the games, I don't know, it was just perfect for us. And that's definitely tip number one. What we had to be okay with was hurting people's feelings. And that, I say that and it sounds cruel, but a lot of people expect you to invite them to your wedding, and something we were just okay with was not pleasing people in that sense. And hey, again, you're paying for your wedding. You shouldn't feel bad about not inviting people to your wedding. And you have to have thick skin when it comes to this, because people will invite themselves to your wedding. And we were very strict. We didn't want any kids at our wedding. Kids just make weddings a little bit more stressful. They make weddings a little bit more messy. And that's something to consider as well. Do you want to have kids at your wedding or not? For us, we decided not to, with the exception of 2 of my nieces and my nephews. And it was literally perfect. It was peaceful. Nobody was like, you know, looking out and worrying about the kids. They were all focusing on us, on the wedding, on what was going on, because nobody had to worry about that. Moving on, the second thing I put on here, if I can find it. Be organized and be wise with your budget. This is something very important. Once you're engaged, you have to learn to be vulnerable with one another. You have to learn how to communicate with one another. And this means opening up about things that are uncomfortable, such as your budget, such as how much money you make, how much money he makes, how much money is in your bank account, and vice versa. It's very recommended that both of you have a full-time job. This will just alleviate you guys and help you guys financially, help you save up, pay your bills on time, and, you know, have that financial stability. And having a budget is crucial. Your wedding day is a very special day, and it's a day that, you know, you are going to splurge on things like your dress or maybe on the decorations. But there has to be a point. I had to put my emotions aside for a moment, for a quick moment. I had to be like, okay, I know this is your dream day, and I know that this is a very beautiful day, but I'd rather have a beautiful wedding and then be broke afterwards, or have a very beautiful wedding, just simpler than maybe you know, this fairy tale that people put in your mind that your wedding has to be, and also have way more money saved up for you and your spouse to enjoy. And that goes to my next point. Like, you have to pick your priorities. Like, sit down with your future spouse, prioritize things. Like, what are you willing to splurge on? What are you willing to put a little bit more money on? And what is really not that important for you guys? For example, for us, not saying that the wedding day was not important, but for us, we decided to prioritize our honeymoon. It just made more sense to spend more money on our honeymoon, because the honeymoon was for us. Like, for us to enjoy, not for anybody else. And that's what we did. We decided to splurge on the honeymoon and have a simpler wedding. And it worked out perfectly fine. And that's just something that you have to sit down and talk about. Are you willing to splurge more on the wedding day and then have a simpler honeymoon, or vice versa? Something that helped us a lot with the budget and keeping things organized and not stressing about like decorations and stuff. So we found a place that was all inclusive, and at first we were really against it because of especially like the food. We weren't really like into the food that some of the venues that we went to were offering. We did just, you know, food that would take us home, and that's exactly what we found in the venue that we chose. It was a Puerto Rican, I think it was like a Puerto Rican owned business, or yeah, venue, and they offered Puerto Rican food, which was perfect. It was delicious. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And they included a lot of things. They included the decorations, the centerpieces, the tables, the chairs. We didn't have to worry about anything. We did buy a few, like 2 things that were not included, and they provided everything. I just sent them pictures from Pinterest, and I was like, this is the colors that I want, this is the theme, this is the idea that I want, and they made it a reality, which was very, very nice, especially for their price that they gave us everything for, gave us the package for. And the only thing that we didn't get from them, because I don't know why we didn't, but it was the cake. We got the cake done somewhere else, and honestly, it didn't even affect us financially, in the sense of that we didn't pay for it, because it was our padrinos paid for it, so we were good. We literally just bought their decorations for the cake, which is very cute. I'll insert a picture somewhere. So be organized, have a budget, be open about your finances. And I know that this is very vulnerable, especially because we live in a world that, you know, we're like strong, independent women. And I say that in a mocking way because the Bible tells us, the exact opposite. Like, we are to be submitted and to be one with our spouse. So in the feminist world that we live in, it is very hard, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it was very hard. It was very difficult for me to open up about this topic, even though, like, in our dating season we were open about our finances, just not like with specific numbers. But once we were engaged, and once, like, Carlos, you know, he was like asking me, like, okay, so what did you get today, or like vice versa, it started to, you know, to be kind of like, whoa, okay, like, this is gonna be my life. Like, I have to learn how to be comfortable talking about my finances. And I think, at least for me, it really helps me notice my bad spending habits, because I wasn't in control. I wasn't the only one in control of my finances. Now I had somebody else looking at what I was spending and made me really self-cautious of how I was spending my money. So it's a good tip to have someone that holds you accountable like that. And also, something that we did right away after we got engaged was joining our bank accounts. I don't believe in separate bank accounts. There's just a lot of room for a lot of extra things, and we're trying to have a healthy, godly, Holy Spirit filled marriage. So best thing that you can do is joint your bank account. My last point is have fun. Have fun. Like, you're only engaged once. I was talking to a friend that is engaged, and I was telling her, yes, it is stressful. I'm not gonna lie. You're going to argue about, like, little stupid things about, like, what color rug you want in the bathroom. And something that you have to learn is that you have to learn to be selfless. And that is literally, if you remember one thing from this video, is that be selfless. Like, be selfless. It's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you not just in your engagement, but in your marriage as well. There's going to be things that you're going to have to sacrifice, and there's going to be things that he's going to have to sacrifice, or to be willing to sacrifice. And that is literally what marriage is about, becoming one. Two separate minds becoming one, and that is going to be very difficult. It's going to be annoying. It's going to be stressful at times. But if the quicker you learn to be selfless, the better and the healthier your marriage will be. Try not to be stressed out, you know, have a friend, have a maid of honor, you know, talk to her. Or even if you, like, just need to not think about your wedding, because trust me, I don't know if I'm the only one, but for me, there were times that I'm like, I just want to think about something other than the wedding. Just grab a friend, go out for coffee, don't talk about the wedding at all, talk about something else, and, you know, have a break, take breaks, even if you're having a short engagement. There were weeks that I took a break that I was like, we're not doing anything engagement related, we're gonna go on a date, we're gonna talk about how much we love each other, and that's it. And yeah, have fun with it. This is a beautiful season. If you're a planner, I love planning things. So if you're a planner, enjoy it. Enjoy planning things. Enjoy picking out little things. Like, this is your day. And I just want to leave you with this. This is something that God really taught me in my engagement season. And even though you become one on your wedding day, when you and your spouse, you know, become one, literally, physically, you know what I mean, it also, that process of becoming one starts in the engagement season, because you're literally taking two minds. Like I said before, you're taking two completely different minds, two different people that are used to doing their things their own way, and you're literally combining those two lives to be one. And I found that so beautiful. Even though we have a date set and we have our plans, and, you know, your wedding day is a very important day, and it's a day that you should for sure have to put a lot of planning and a lot of dedication to. A lot of times we focus so much on the wedding day that we forget that there's a whole marriage that we're about to walk in. And I'm just gonna Google real quick. Let's go to Dr. Google. What are the divorce rates in the United States? I want you to see this because it's alarming. It's crazy. I don't know if you're going to be able to. Right here. Almost 50% of all marriages in the United States will end in divorce or separation. That is a problem. And It's crazy. That is half of the people that get married, half of those people get divorced. And it honestly, it makes sense, because sometimes we're so focused on the wedding day, which is just one day of your life, and we put no effort into the marriage that we're about to embark on. If you're engaged, like, remember these words, like, your wedding day is one day, and I'm sorry, but somebody had to say it. Your wedding day is over romanticized. The movies we see and the things that we hear and about weddings, they have to be this magical Disney feeling. And yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful day, but after that day passes, like, you're going to be hit with reality. You're going to wake up to someone that is not always going to be in the mood to be lovey-dovey. Like, marriage is going to be difficult, and don't go into your engagement and you focus so much on your wedding day that you can't see past it. And if that's you right now, like, that is okay and that is normal, but really pray and seek wisdom. And something that I suggest is seek premarital counseling before you get married. Don't wait for your marriage to be in pieces to then seek counseling when you can get ready before. You know, I just think it says in the Word of God that the wise woman builds up her home, and you don't have to wait to be married to do that. You start building your home before then. Just as you start buying things to decorate your house, just as you start getting your house furnished before you get married and move in, you have to do the same thing with your future marriage. And it didn't take us by surprise that the divorce rates are so high, because if we put that much effort into our marriage, if we put that much planning and daily seeking of new things for our marriage, I could guarantee you that that divorce rate would be a lot lower. So I recommend you to do premarital counseling just as you're getting ready for your wedding day, and that is a beautiful day, and I don't want to minimize how beautiful and how amazing that day will be. Be ready for your marriage as well. Get ready for your marriage. It's the wise thing to do, and you can only do that with the Spirit of God. A lot of questions that maybe you didn't even think about talking about, like a lot of topics, will be presented there, and it will be an icebreaker for topics such as finances and what do you expect from the other person. Just a lot of good questions, things that are very important to talk about prior to getting married and spending the rest of your life with this person. And I leave you with this, just trying to be as real and as genuine as I can be. Remember, your wedding day is only one day of your life, but your marriage was designed to last a lifetime. So you got to take care of it even before you're a Mrs. or a Mr. Anyways, that was all for today's video. I am so happy about this series. I'm so happy that you watched this video. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos regarding engagement, wedding, lifestyle, whatever the Lord has with this little platform. I'm just excited to make more videos, and yeah. I hope you guys have an amazing day, or I hope you guys have an amazing engagement. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to love one another, and I guess you will see me on my next video. Ciao!